As happens, my friend Jared calls into the show here. And if you're watching on Casterly Talk, hello, check out the Blathering Live. But we'd like to have some conversations about Game of Thrones, and we're in the middle of a Game of Thrones rewatch. We're still in season 6, episode 7, Broken Man. Jared, is that correct? Yeah, because memory serves. And
yes.
What do we got?
Yes. We've been a little dormant. Life happens, but that's okay. We are on to season 6, episode 7, Broken Man, directed by Mark Mylor and written again by our boy Brian Cogman.
The lore master.
You ain't fucking kidding, brother.
Beep. All right. I watched this 2 weeks ago. We were going to do the segment about 2 weeks ago, so I had some bigger, deeper thoughts. But this is an episode definitely remembered for the Hound, the Gravedigger, all those things. Love to talk about that a little bit. But one of those things, this is why I love doing this rewatch series now. Like, it's been a couple years, and episode 7's got a lot going on.
It does. That cold opener was something else. They don't do it much in the show, but when they do, they really, it's going to be a good episode. And I do love the simple gag of the reveal. You got 4 guys trying to carry this log. And all of a sudden you see the one big man with the log. It's Hound Boy. And then theme song hits. And and then you got our man, Ian McShane. Just I don't think he had a bad line in this whole episode. This man owned his one and only episode in the show.
Absolutely. And then in typical Ian, or I should say wonderful Ian McShane fashion, kind of complained about only having one episode, and I don't know what it's about, and made some comments about Game of Thrones, and I wouldn't want him any other way. He is Al Swearingen, true on that one there. But yeah, love Brother Ray playing it's kind of taken from some Septim Maribald stuff from the books, but I love Brother Ray. I love the return, and it makes sense. It was Brian Cogman, the lore master, bringing this character, Sandor Clegane, back to the show, like the cold open. But also, this is one of those big dangling participles, so to speak, as I like to say, of, the Gravedigger, what we had gotten to in the books. And it is both, I think, unlike, say, Cold Hands, which was maybe completely different, but also made a lot of sense. This one was, I think, in the right, it was the right direction. I love what they did with it. Could I have taken a couple more episodes of him being this character? Yeah, but I also think you didn't need that, and you needed to get him to where he was at the end of it. So I like how they handled it. Did you have any thoughts going into this episode of, will that Gravedigger ever come back? Will he show up? Will he be confirmed to be Sandor? What was your thoughts on that?
I'm actually pretty much in line with you because, after not getting, Lady Stoneheart and having Cold Hands be changed, and like you said so many times before, I mean, the show was different from the books from scene 1, shot 1.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I was very much in the I'm gonna let it, as the kids say, let it cook, because I was trusting him with everything, even though I still had spite over Bran not being in season 5 at all. It's okay. I'll get over it one day. I'm in therapy.
Just for that? That's good. That's good.
But no, they did a great job because, again, it's just Ian's performance brings out the dialogue and the message of the episode and the pushing of Sandor in the direction they need in just those 15, 20 minutes of that whole episode of them being in there. And the little messages each time just get more and more powerful until I'm sorry, but he's got one of the best lines of the season. What do you want? I'm a fucking septon.
Yes, McShane's great. Yeah, the big theme kind of running through all this episode is the kind of like stand and fight. How do you fight? What are you fighting for? And how are you going to fight it? Something that's big in Game of Thrones and shows up a lot. But with everything at play here, you have Jon, Sansa, Davos. We get to meet Lyanna Mormont, one of the great characters of all time, I think. But just about oaths and, again, how to fight. And you got Sir Robert Glover just being an absolute jerk a-hole, kind of going back on his oaths, and Lyanna's going to say, put a pin in that. I'll talk to you later about that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Jamie and Braun going to the Riverlands also has some of the best comedy this season of just the phrase trying to do that. But also the Blackfish returning in a grand way. And there's someone who is going to stand and fight, and obviously until it takes his life. But all that stuff in play. The stuff with Olenna and Marjorie handing her the note, and this is part of the fight. And we know it doesn't necessarily turn out good for her either. But even Cersei saying, when Olenna's like, I'm getting out of here, pack your shit and leave. That's what you should do. I like, again, Cersei's one of those complicated characters where you're kind of often rooting for, but I like that she says, I'm going to stand and fight. This is what she wanted, this kingdom. Her pursuit of that will also lead to her downfall later on, but it leads to a great moment later as we get to our rewatch. But I love that that's all going. Even you got Theon, you got Yara with one of the great
that was apology.
A great for all the kids out there, but I'm gonna go fuck the tits off that one, and then we're gonna go come back. Yara is one of my favorites. So everything at play in this episode, I think, is important to the overall story of the show. How do you fight?
Exactly.
And what are you fighting for?
And just another theme of change too, just with Brother Ray telling Clegane, like, it's never too late to help someone, to build something better, to just, do what you can with what you have left. It's a beautiful episode and the business that man was standing on at the end of the episode, where he just walks away grabbing the hatchet. It just,
it's a solid moment. And again, we earlier in this live broadcast talked about Ahsoka and Rory McCann coming in as Balin Skoll. It's why I have, as much as I am sad about the loss of Ray Stevenson, I have so much faith in Rory McCann. It is episodes like this, and even the stuff later on, definitely the stuff earlier, but even the stuff later on with Arya as he, even the finale, what he says with her. We'll get to that on the rewatch, but this is, I think, some of the Hound's finest stuff, without a doubt. And it's hard not to pull a great performance out of an actor when you're opposite Ian McShane.
Right. Definitely same. So we look forward to next time. We'll try to keep it a little more regular. Next episode we got is No One.
No One indeed. Yeah. And just a final note on Bella Ramsey as Lyanna Mormont. They just came into this role and owned it in a way that the show hadn't seen in a while. So many great performances in every episode of Game of Thrones, but they were a standout for a reason.
Oh, definitely. How could I forget? I actually now feel bad that I didn't bring that up more, but definitely a fan favorite standout scene, and it'll always be 62.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
62 indeed. Love it. Well, there you go. We'll get to episode 6, season 6, episode 8. No One. I appreciate it, Jared. Thanks for calling.
Always, buddy.